forehand, just like the backhand, has three key components. The first being the grip of how you're holding onto the Frisbee. The second is the arm motion, actually how you're going to move and get power on the disc. And the third is your lower body, the last step in really getting that extra 10 to 15 yards on hucking a flick or just getting a good solid flick off. So the easiest way to grip for a forehand is just to make a gun with your hand, okay? Hold the disc in your left hand here. You're going to put your two fingers that are together, and you're going to put your middle finger right on the rim, okay? It's going right there, and your index finger is going right on the other side. Then your thumb's going to go on top, and it should be on the ring. You shouldn't want to have it cocked way back here. It shouldn't be here. You want to put it right on the ring, somewhere where it feels kind of comfortable in your hand. The other thing is the last two fingers, you don't want to leave it like that, okay? This finger and this finger need to extend to where you're creating four fingers across the middle, and you're pushing together on the inside here, you're pushing together on the inside here. Hey guys, I'm here with 2010 National Champion Alex Hill, and we are going to go into the next phase of learning how to throw a forehand. So we already went over what the grip is, and now what we're going to look into is the simplified motion of the wrist snap. And what I like to do is I like to have kind of like, so we'll set up to where we're about 10 yards apart from each other. And once you have your grip, what you want to do is you want to keep the disc vertical. Okay, to start off, keep the disc vertical, and then all you're going to do is you're going to turn your wrist sideways, bring your wrist back, and then bring your wrist forward. You can move your arm a little bit forward here to kind of propel the disc in a forward motion, but we don't want to get a huge arm motion. You want to keep it simple. So just practice this until you have it down pretty much pat to where you're getting a lot of wrist snap on the disc. And you'll see, if you watch, neither one of us are really moving that much with our arms. It's all in the wrist, and that's really important, is getting that wrist snap, and that's going to make all your flicks a lot better. Okay, if you're struggling with really getting that rotation on the disc, if your disc is still wobbling a little bit, one thing that you can think about is if you were to kind of snap someone with a towel, a wet towel, you're going to go through and quickly snap your wrist at the very end. And that's kind of the same thing for a forehand. I see a lot of people kind of overthrow with their arm and really try to use their arm to get distance. It's really all comes in their wrist. Your arm's kind of just moving through fluidly, and at the end it's a violent wrist snap. And so I'll kind of go through a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of a shoulder turn here too. So if I'm sitting here and I'm facing my target, I'm going to shoulder turn. And that makes my arm go backwards, and then as I come through, my shoulders lead, and I come through, my arm just kind of following the plane I'm on, and at the very end, my wrist snaps. And the big key is the finish, okay? If you're having a problem with the disc always turning over, that's because you're rolling your wrist over, and a lot of that has to do with the finish. When you finish, you want to be finishing with your arm facing upwards, and your wrist is going to be facing upwards out at your target. You don't want to finish with your arm coming across your body or your arm coming down here. You want to finish with the arm coming straight up and you're sticking it right there. And one thing I'll just show you real quick is you can throw a 30-40 yard pass without much arm motion at all. It's a lot in the wrist. So I'll try to do my best not to use any of my arm. And so with little arm motion there, you know, I threw something 30 yards. So just make sure you're really focusing on that wrist snap at the end and really finishing your throw. Okay, so now we're going to add the lower body, what it should be looking like when we're throwing a forehand or a flick. And what it basically looks like is if I'm even with my target, okay, keeping everything the same, the shoulder turn, the grip, the wrist, everything the same as far as the upper body goes. All you're going to do now is you're just going to take a little baby step forward as you bring the disc back, baby step forward, and as you hit is when you should be releasing the disc. You shouldn't hit the ground with your foot and wait for the disc to come through. It should be all in one motion. So I'm back and I throw.